A very warm greetings to all our viewers and wishing all of you had a, looking at the market, it's difficult to say that you had a great start of 2025, but nevertheless, other than the market, everything else in the life is going well. And those who are traders, I still think that market gave some pretty decent opportunity to make money. It's only the investors who are bleeding. With that context, let's right away jump into our analysis for the week. And this week, we will also try to look a little bit ahead, do a bit more than what we typically do for the weekly analysis. With that, welcome, Hussein, and over to you for the analysis on Bank Nifty and then on Nifty.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. So we are coming back after a couple of weeks. So I'm just trying to start from where we left off. The price action that we had was for Friday, 20th of December. I've marked it in red on the screen just to point out what we had on our screen when we had met last. This blue line says also our monthly chart. You can see over here, this is the monthly count on the day chart. We had corrected our count, hence we had gone to one level higher to see is a larger chart changing direction. We had taken two cases, sir, because we've always said that, when it is a monthly count, it takes that much of time. On a weekly basis, there might be some support or some kind of halchal. We had taken two cases, sir. One case we had taken directly blank out for a continuation. We had put certain conditions down. You had rightly summed it up, saying that 49,654 is what we would like to see being taken out before the end of the month. To stay objective, which we have always done since 1.5 years that we are forecasting the market, to mention that, I will just take you to a 75-minute time frame. So just bear with me for 1 second. I will adjust my chart and bring up my writing. Okay. I'm going to change the way this is how you would normally see it. I'm using my brush tool, sir, just to explain the second case. We had said that the first indication which would reveal that something has changed, because our first case was for a blanket continuation. ये जो आई एम जस्ट मार्किंग इट 18th और 19 दिसंबर का जो गैप है, if you see market moving towards it and coming to fill it, it would be your first indication that जो हमने blanket continuation के लिए केस लिया था, that is on hold right now. Right? This is what we had explained on a 75-minute time frame. 51,800 is the level that we had said. There could be an overlap and a filling at that level. So हुआ क्या था? And I will go back to the day chart for this. Just bear with me for 1 second. There we go. And I'm switching off the candle. सर हुआ था कि फ्राइडे का जो लो था 20th दिसंबर का, दैट स्टेट प्रोटेक्टेड until 30th of December. We made a high of 51,979, the 51,800 level that we had mentioned. Keep an eye on it. That was breached. So on the day chart, if you notice the movement to the top side, that is from here, I'm just marking it with the circle. So this was a subdivided wave. We have said this many times that when you see a movement that is subdivided, you should know it is a corrective wave. It is a reaction to an already established trend, which was in the downside, is what we had anyways pointed out. After making this high of 51,979, the market again moved to the downside because that was simply a reaction to an already established trend.
Correct.
So there was one place that we were slightly stumped, and I would like to point that out. कि ये जो reaction आया था, in calendar days, sir, that was about 10 calendar days. It's including Saturday, Sunday. Although we operate only Monday through Friday. So ये जो reaction 10 दिन का आया था, that kind of stumped us a little bit. We did not expect it to be that long. ऑफ कोर्स जो ये बॉक्स रिप्रेजेंट करता है, दैट इज द टाइम टेकन बाय दिस वेव ओवर हियर. And I'll just switch on the monthly wave chart again. You will see this box represents the time taken from here to here. उतने ही टाइम में ये लो भी ब्रीच हो चुका है.
Right.
बट ये जो सब डिवाइडेड वेव टूटा है ना सर, या ये जो आया है सब डिवाइडेड, ये हमारा एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं था. वी वांटेड इट टू ब्रेक directionally in one single mono wave. This is one place where we were slightly unhappy with the price movement. This was my recap
Yep.
from where we left off. Based on the price action that I have on my chart at present, what can I see for the coming week is what we will discuss on a 75-minute time frame. So I'm just switching back to that.
Sure, sure.
Give me 1 second just to adjust my
Yeah, and
chart.
on that piece which you mentioned, right, which was a bit surprising. I always say
जी
that
sir.
market has always surprises in store for us. So we should be open for any possibility and you know, uh, yeah, they always
Absolutely.
surprise. I mean, that's the nature of the market.
That is the nature of the market, sir. And I have always said, sir, that wave structure and price action are the two things we require to trade.
Mhm.
Although we were considering, a blanket down move, but जब फ्राइडे का लो ही नहीं टूटा, तो मार्केट थोड़ी ना सर जाएगा नीचे. ये लो
Correct,
ही नहीं टूटा.
correct.
So anyway, sir, we'll just look at what we can see. Sir, we will also switch on the candles over here, and I would like to point out that from 3rd of January, and I'm just marking it on my screen right now. 3rd of January, this is the 9:15 candle. From here, we had about a 3000 plus point directional movement to the downside. Okay. My case one on this basis for continuation, I will again say, sir, price action is important very much. If this low is taken out and the momentum continues, we may see further movement to the downside up to 48,160, 47,850, and 47,200. These are the levels I would be looking at if we continue to the downside. To stay objective, I have taken case 2A and B just to stay objective.
Mhm.
So, hota kya hai that since we have a directional movement to the downside, at no point do I want to see an engulfing wave to the top side. And I'm just marking those level. I will call them out for you also for your easy reference. I'm just marking them out over here.
Right, right.
So what will happen? I mean, even if we follow simple technical analysis, in this directional movement to the downside, we are seeing lower highs and lower lows. If at any point we see a higher high, basically a swing high being broken, we know that देखिए यहाँ पे the market structure has changed. जो market नीचे आ रहा था वो एक higher high higher low बनाया है.
Right.
In a continued downtrend, we don't want to see prior swing highs being broken. Those levels that we would keep a keen eye on this 75-minute chart would be 49,504, 49,800, and 50,500.
Mm.
In essence, sir, something like this is what I'm talking about. This is 50,500, the third level that I have pointed out.
Yeah, okay.
If we see prices moving and overlapping this high over here,
Mhm.
so the wave structure will change and it will be extremely interesting. कि जो
Okay.
प्राइस इतना टूटा है नीचे,
Hmm.
ये इसको ओवरलैप क्यों कर रहा है. Okay.
Interesting. Hmm.
I am also taking sir case 2B over here. If we see this retracement yahan tak,
Hmm.
there may be one dip to the downside. We may come to retest this level, which is somewhere in the range of 51,700 to 52,000. Obviously, sir, I'm not saying that I'm expecting this case to be in the following week. I'm considering it right now with at least 1 to 2 weeks of price action movement. That means अगला हफ्ता भी हो सकता है, उसके अगले हफ्ते में शायद ये आए.
And
It's the
this
reason we,
retracement, the 61.8 you are taking from where?
so
What is
the
the number?
entire pattern from the day chart, जो
Okay.
हमें नीचे का movement दिखा था,
Hmm.
with that bounce, I will go back to the day chart and show you. But that entire move that we've got, uska 61% I'm taking, which will bring us somewhere in this vicinity over here.
Hmm.
So the only reason I'm catching that case is there is one very important event that we are approaching, which is our budget on 1st of February.
Hmm.
I will just quickly summarize our Bank Nifty. The move to the downside is not over, but for continuation, I will wait for this low to be taken out of Friday. The levels that we may see, I have mentioned in case one. And to stay objective, at no point do I want to see a swing high being broken.
Right.
If that happens, I have mentioned those levels in case 2A. That would be my analysis on Bank Nifty. So if you like, I will first shift to Nifty and then we can talk about anything else.
Sure.
Move to the Nifty chart. I will just switch back to the day time frame. Move to Nifty. Okay. Just adjust my chart. Give me 1 second. Okay, there. सर निफ्टी का जो स्टोरी है सर वो थोड़ा अलग है बैंक निफ्टी से जो फ्राइडे 20 दिसंबर का जो लो था
Mm-hmm.
इट वाज ब्रीच्ड ऑन 31 दिसंबर बट जो कंडीशंस हमने सेट किए थे दैट 23,263 और 23,000 में बी ब्रीच्ड दैट इज प्रोटेक्टेड टू दिस डे बेस्ड ऑन ऑल द ऊपर नीचे मूवमेंट दैट हैज हैपेंड to this date 23 to 20 263 and 23,000 is still protected. So we had also posted a continuation chart on our Telegram channel, and I will just mark it out for you.
Uh-huh.
There was a pattern on a 15-minute chart that we had seen where we had identified कि ये जो movement आया है नीचे, you can say from here, this
Okay.
has taken a temporary stop. I will also switch to a 15-minute chart for you. सर एट 23,680 which was the break, ये जो पैटर्न था उसका बीवी ट्रेंड लाइन सो नीचे से तो ज्यादा पॉइंट्स है बट आफ्टर टेकिंग कंफर्मेशन एट 23,680 we moved to 24,226.70 which was about a 546 movement directionally. यहाँ पे सर शायद थोड़ा छोटा दिखता है बट व्हेन यू सी इट ऑन 15 मिनट्स यू कैन एक्चुअली सी कि हाँ ये बीडी ट्रेंड लाइन कंफर्मेशन के बाद ये 550 पॉइंट ऊपर की तरफ मूव दिया है. However, sir, this movement of price was sharply rejected. We can see it from here. We saw a movement to the downside जहां पे ये लो भी टूट गया था over here. Based on this price action, what can we see in the following week? To explain that, I will move to a 75-minute chart. I'll just adjust my chart for easy viewing. अभी इसका जरूरत नहीं है, so let me take it out. Okay. So after this, I will shift to the 15-minute and show you that pattern also. It was over here. Okay. So as of right now, we see ourselves in a C wave on the day chart. Okay. ये जो मूवमेंट आया है प्राइस का नीचे की तरफ एंड आई जस्ट हिट अ रेड एरो टू पॉइंट इट आउट फ्रॉम दिस पॉइंट व्हेन वी डू आवर एनालिसिस एक दो काउंट हमें दिखता है. द फर्स्ट काउंट इज व्हाट इज ऑन योर स्क्रीन एंड दिस इज इन रिलेशन टू केस नंबर 2 वेयर वी आर स्टेइंग ऑब्जेक्टिव. सो यहाँ पे हमें क्या दिख रहा है कि this sharp movement to the downside, and I will just use my brush tool and mark it. If I do a simple M1, M2 analysis, this low and this high, okay? So this was my wave A, this was my wave B. When this low of wave A was taken out, this was confirmed complete. Okay, in that case, I can take this as wave A, this as wave B, this as wave C,
Mm-hmm.
I will keep a close eye on 23,600, 23,700, which is somewhere in this price range. We may still have one dip over here, and then we may make a attempt towards 24,200 or somewhere in this vicinity.
Right.
Okay, this would be my one case. So the second count that I'm getting is कि यहाँ पे आप देखेंगे ना तो prices has drifted to the downside. Whenever market is drifting also in a particular direction, it is still a sign of weakness. Okay, there is still no evidence कि prices यहाँ तक भी आएंगे. In that event, I will consider that my B leg is nothing but a running flat, which means wave C is still pending, and I'm just taking a trend line and drawing it for you कि ये wave शायद यहाँ से यहाँ connect करे. In that event, if this case one of continuation works out,
Uh-huh.
we would look at this low being breached 23,344. We may go towards 23,187 and 22,900. We will keep a close eye on this, sir. अगर इसको रुकना है यहाँ पे, बट ऑब्वियस ये जो स्विंग हाई है उसे तो ब्रीच करेगा ही, which is mentioned in my case 2 and case 1 I just mentioned to you. This would be my analysis on Nifty.
Great.
I will take you to the 15-minute time frame, sir. This was a good one,
Uh-huh.
and our viewers will also get a lot of learning from it. So this was on 1st of January.
Mm-hmm.
You can see this pattern. I'll just mark it so that you know exactly what I'm talking about. We had a bottoming pattern यहाँ पे. This was our wave A, B, C, D and E. जब ये breach हुआ था sir 23,680 पे, you can see the price to your right.
Mm-hmm.
It gave us a 540 point directional movement. जब सर ये लो यहाँ पे कटा था, that time we knew कि if you in case you have sold puts, it would be a good place for you to take a step back, let the pattern reveal itself for further movement. सर
Right.
हुआ क्या कि ये इसको इसके लेवल में आ गया, तो
Mm.
उसके बाद ऊपर का तो ऑब्वियसली आप एक्सपेक्ट करेंगे ही नहीं, एंड देन देयर वाज ओनली कॉल सेलिंग.
Yep.
डन सर.
No, no, very interesting. Great. Thanks so much. Thanks for sharing the analysis.
जी
And
सर.
to all our viewers, trade safe. I think there are a lot of events. The results are one of the big things that are happening, in addition to, of course, budget and Trump swearing in. I think from an investment perspective, people are watching how the results come. This week, we have three big results scheduled. So let's see what happens there. And in the meantime, you please subscribe to the blog, which we mentioned in our description. Also subscribe to our channel and share it with the like-minded folks. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.